Okay, so I want to share just this one principle that really comes into play when you're creating a stamped collage, but it actually also has to do when you're doing any kind of collage, and it's the concept of visual weight. And in this card, I knew that the thing I wanted to have the most visual weight is this picture full of sunflowers. And there's a couple ways that you can do that. One is to use color, and even within the range of color, to make it the brightest thing on the page is the thing that will actually kind of bring it to the foreground. It's visual weight because it is either brighter or heavier than the other elements that surround it. And by popping it up, that gives it some visual weight. The fact that it does contain the brightest colors on the page also has a lot to do with why your eye knows that that's the thing that it's supposed to really look at. But in creating this background, I've used the concept of intensity to make these other elements work together. They're all from different stamp sets. I've got a flourish, I've got this chicken wire hexagon thing, I've got a stamped a script stamp, and I've got the sunflowers. And if they were all exactly the same weight, this would actually look pretty awful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of these together with just black ink, just stamp it and put them in the exact same places that I have here, and I'll come back and show that to you, okay? So you can see when I don't vary any intensity, either by making the color lighter or the image not have as much ink. When I don't vary any intensity, you can see that you just really end up with a hot mess. I love the collage over here. This just kind of drives my eyes a little crazy. Let me show you one other thing that I did, just so you could see that the color actually does help, because some colors are lighter than others. But here's what happened when I added a gray ink. I used, because I was using Memento Tuxedo Black, on this one I used Tuxedo Black and London Fog, so that I could really vary the intensity. I'm not saying that I would put these together, but I actually could probably make this color combination work with this, because you have the ability to make some elements stand out and some others recede. And you can see just with my scratch piece of paper that with both the black and the London Fog, I was stamping off. So that gave me the ability to vary the intensity. This one just drives your eye crazy. This one at least says, oh, the sunflowers are really the most important thing. Probably the second most is the script. And oh, she's just kind of using the swirls to fill in space, because when I was doing the original piece, I felt like I needed two things. I needed to draw some sort of blue out into here so that this didn't look like it was just totally by itself. And I needed to fill in a few places that I didn't want like some really strong element. So I hope that this little exercise right here has shown you that really, even if you have very limited resources, if you just are using two colors, even if you were using one color, if I'd just done it with the black and done some stamping off, you still would have gotten closer to this. Visual weight. Again, just a quick review. It is how heavy something is based on how much of it there is, the weight of it. This is clearly the heaviest element. Secondly, it's the intensity. So you can take an element that, like the sunflower, that over here just really screams at you, and either by stamping it off or using a lighter color, you get that they play well together. They're not saying I'm more important than the script, or this chicken wire, which actually is a very subtle element in here, but it plays a huge role because the iconic image of the chicken wire is kind of a country element. When you're doing a background, you really don't want it to be the major focal point. But guys, I hope you'll try this technique and maybe even do this kind of 3-step thing. Start with just black. Get your black ink out and the stamps that you think you want to use, and create the hot mess. And you can see which things you want to bring out and which you want to. Then do this one where you're still working with black and white, basically using maybe a gray. Then add in your color, and guys, I bet you will have some collages that you just love. I so enjoy being with you all, and I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me in my studio. I hope you have a great week, and be sure to take some time for creative play.